Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. That's the Rock and Roll Spot coming at you with my retro review of Predators. Now, I know this. I said this was supposed to be going up on Thursday. I slept all day. Sorry. I, we'll be doing the Billy and the Tina was going to be done today, Monday. Sorry. It was, like I said, I thought I'd be able, I wouldn't be dog-ass tired, but yeah. Anyway, so Predators. Predators is the 2010 third sequel of second sequel, I guess, but third part in the Predator solo franchise. It is as before, sci-fi horror film. It kind of had the concept of bringing the Predator concept back to basics, which is another way of saying, hey, let's remake the first movie but still make it a little bit different, so it's not a complete remake. Maybe we'll even reference the first film, which they do. Anyway, so first off, the cast of note. As Royce, you've got Adrian Brody, who's presumably, we don't really get confirmation, but the fact that he doesn't correct Isabella when she presumes this, yeah, that presumably he is ex-Black Ops turned mercenary. Next up, we've got Edwin, played by Topher Grace. Initially explains he's a physician, general practitioner. We learn by the end of the film, though, that he's actually a serial killer. Next up, the aforementioned Isabel, played by Alice Braga. She's a sniper with the Israeli Defense Force. Next, after that, we've got Stans, played by Walton Goggins. He's a murderer on death row in San Quentin. It's also heavily suggested that he's a rapist. Next up, Nikolai, played by Oleg Taktarov. I really almost pronounced that right. He's part of Russian Spetsnaz Alpha Group stationed in Chechnya. We got Cuchillo, played by Danny Trejo, a drug cartel enforcer. Hanzo, played by Louis Ozawa Chunchen, a Yakuza enforcer. Mombasa, played by Marshala Ali, a Revolutionary United Front soldier from Sierra Leone. Nolan, who's actually not part of the original initial group, played by Lawrence Fishburne, Army Air Cav. And then you have Kerry Jones, Brian Steele, and Derek Mears playing the 4 different Predators that show up in the movie. With Mears playing the classic Predator, and the other 3 were larger size, played by Kerry Jones and Brian Steele. Alright, so the movie, plot-wise, a handful of killers are dropped off on a jungle planet and hunted by a group of predators. They fight back. Oh, group of Yautja, I should say. Anyway, so and eventually they do die, or they do get killed off. And instead of there being one survivor, there's two this time. So, all right, what did I like and dislike with the movie? I thought it it especially used tension, pacing, and exposition well. Generally, exposition dumps feel clunky. This one felt natural because all of our main characters are meeting each other for the very first time at the beginning of the movie. So they are, kind of saying, "Oh, hey, hey, how did you know that was the case? Oh, because I would do the same thing. Oh, okay, well that makes sense." And of course, introductions, stuff like that. When it comes to pacing and tension, it's actually really good about how, well, not every moment is a edge of your seat sequence where nail biting action and nail biting tension and action and everything and all that. You get some slow moments. Excuse me. Mainly of our main characters walking through the jungle, and it works because it gives you that moment to kind of, okay, I can we'll take a breath from that sequence that we just had, or kind of, and there are moments when, oh shit, they just came upon some fucked up stuff. Amongst the things they come upon while traipsing through the jungle is a dead U.S. Special Forces officer who has made a whole bunch of traps. Just because I'm sick and tired of seeing rumors of Predator movies with, oh yeah, we're trying to get Schwarzenegger to make an appearance. I would have loved for that guy, that dead Special Forces soldier, to have been Dutch. And kind of oh well, what worked before didn't work this time. Damn. But no, it's just a generic, just a nameless corpse. Let's see. Who else? What else is there? Like I said, the exposition was and pacing all actually really well done. There's when it comes to the pacing, there's none of the non-action sequences felt boring. It's like, okay, it's more kind of okay, I'm winding down from our heroes having to survive this guy, the Special Forces dude's booby traps, or they fought the hounds, and oh no, damn dude, and Cuchillo, he's dead now. Oh dude, that sucks. But we're moving on, and it's gonna suck that Danny Trejo's not in the movie anymore, but persevere. I love the fact that it expands on the mythos and universe for at least the Predator portion of things. In fact, I think this is This movie probably has the first non-Yautja, non-xenomorph creature shown alive in a movie featuring a Yautja. It's a creature referred to as the River Ghost. But it attacks everyone, and it's kind of, you know, it doesn't have a means. They don't. Communication barriers. It figures, oh, hey, these are people with guns. I should attack them because they probably brought me here. That's also that also made for an excellent way of bringing in Nolan, the character played by Lawrence Fishburne, and Nolan was actually rather. His performance was rather fun, though I'm surprised that no one. Well, I am kind of surprised that nobody kind of looked at each other. No one looked at one of the others and kind of, you know, mainly because it is very obvious that he is talking to someone who isn't there quite often. The sword fight. Oh, the sword fight. That was so cool. Okay, so the scene in question. Nolan attempts to kill them and steal their gear, but they cause an explosion in his hideout, which summons the Yautja. The Yautja show up and end up killing Nolan, and the team escapes. One of the three Yautja is killed by Nikolai. It kills himself to take him out. Earlier in Nolan's hideout, Hanzo found a katana, which she takes, and you know, okay, I'm gonna take this. So, escaping from Nolan's hideout, the handful that are left, which at that point are Royce, Edwin, Isabel, and Hanzo. He takes off his suit jacket, gets good and shirtless. He's already ditched his shoes elsewhere. He draws the katana and holds it up. It's like, let's do this. And he goes head to head with one of the Yautja, who is popping out their wrist blade. And it is. I mentioned before how I wished I could have seen certain fights in Predator and Predator 2, but namely the fight between Billy and the Yautja in Predator. Yes, it would have taken away from the fight between the Yautja and Dutch, but I still wish I could have seen it. This, as for King Willie, I don't know. I mean, it would have been cool to see what he could do, though I doubt he really did much to the Yautja. This, however, and the best part being that they kill each other, though Hanzo falls last. So I'll give the win to Hanzo. That was so cool. The cast works really well together too. you kind of there are times when you meet someone for the very first time and maybe you have just the slightest thing in common, but you click. That's how a lot of the cast was, and especially with this, okay, we've been dropped on an alien planet and we're being hunted, so we should probably work together to avoid getting killed. Like they pull together real well, and there's never none of it feels forced at all. Well, maybe more forced than it should. There is a degree of it that does feel forced, but it's more just kind of that it's supposed to, because they've just been dropped into this planet, dropped onto this planet together. But none of the interactions. It's not like I am person. Yeah, no, it works. So it works well. So there are, of course, things I didn't like. I wouldn't necessarily call this a low point of the Predator franchise, but of the three so far, it's the one I've liked the least. Okay, so you remember how I brought up the whole back to basics thing? Well, throughout the movie, you get nods to the original movie, to the original Predator. For example, Nikolai. Yeah, it's a stretch calling this a nod to the first one, but Nikolai is sporting a minigun, just like Blaine. When Nolan shows up, oh god, it's basically just redoing the scenes between Mac and Dylan. Even utilize the same dialogue, turn around, over here. It just, ugh. But yeah, there was... It was... Like, some of them I get, and they kind of work. But I feel like... Okay, like I said, the nods were nice. But it kind of got to one of, okay, now you're just overdoing it. Like, we get it. You liked the first movie. I did too. That's why I'm watching this one. I really had trouble buying Adrian Brody as an action hero. He plays the part well, but he plays the part of Royce well, but it's just it didn't feel right. It felt like it was a role that should have gone to somebody else. And Adrian Brody's a great actor. He really is, but he's not an action star. Now, next one, okay. So there's nothing to say that Predator 2 is exactly discounted from the continuity set up in Predators, but there's nothing to say that it's still there. So after Cuchillo's death, our quote-unquote heroes follow the tracks of the hounds that were sent after them back to their camp. And so they get to the hunting camp, and strung up on one of the posts there is a classic Yautja. A Yautja looking just like the one from Predator and Predator 2. And Isabel's like, oh, okay, this is, So anyways, after they are attacked by the other Yautja. The group runs sans Mombasa, who had been killed at that point. So they get away. And Isabel gives Royce some shit about, you were using us as bait, and he kind of says, oh yeah, well, you can go fuck yourself and tell everyone how you recognize that thing that was all trussed up. And what are you talking about? Now, also, it discounts the AVP movies. I'm less irked about that than I am Predator 2. Now, okay, so if she knows about the Valverde incident from the first Predator movie, then she most definitely knows about the loss of the Otherworld Life Form Task Force team in 10 years later in Los Angeles. Also, and why I say that AVP is definitely discounted here is that, again, she would also know about, at the very least, the Colorado town that was destroyed to contain a different alien, but how the survivors had some tech from that seems to match up with the Yautja. But it's like I mentioned in my retro review of Predator 2. It's, there are a lot of people fans of the original who just, for some reason, don't like the second one. But anyway, all in all, I mean, it's not a bad threequel. And if this had been the follow-up to Predator, I'd probably be pretty, I'd probably think higher of it. It does make for a quality continuation. It is definitely not the aliens to Predator's Alien, but it's still better than Alien 3 and Alien Resurrection. I think Predator 2 is a better film. I guess everything... There's very little to complain about, but the stuff there is to complain about is usually pretty, fairly, like I said, the constant nods to the first movie. I mean, if there was a helicopter on the planet, someone would have shouted to get to the chopper. The idea, like I said, expanding on things, showing the predator, the predator hounds, or the hounds, the Yautja's hounds, I should say. The river ghost. The fact that the Yautjas use gaming preserves or hunting preserves, that's really interesting. It's not just, okay, we're going to go to this planet and we're going to hunt some people down, get some trophies, then we're going to leave. No, sometimes it's like, you know what? Let's just snag some people, plop them down on our planet, and and put him through the races. Also, the fact that there are two races of Yautjas. We also, those are interesting things. And again, we get the whole, pretty much, sticking to the, they've been visiting Earth for a long time bit, which has been pretty much, which was definitively stated in Predator 2, but this one just, also adds to that with the katana, which Hanzo, when he picks it up and pulls it out of the scabbard, is like, this is old. So this is not, they're not new visitors. They're not just like, hey, this planet looks cool, let's fuck it up. Also, a side note, Dark Horse Comics has done a follow-up for Royce. You know what, that actually reminds me. That is one thing that did kind of annoy me. I didn't like the ending. I would have much preferred seeing Royce and Isabel managed to get off the planet after killing Berserker. But instead, the Berserker blew up the ship, and, well, yeah, they're stuck there for the moment. But like I said, Dark Horse Comics has done some backups, kind of putting out the implication that Royce later on becomes a respected hunter, much the same way that oh god, Machiko. Machiko no, much like the heroine from the original Alien vs. Predator comics series, Machiko Noguchi. Yeah, I just looked that up. I just looked it up on Wikipedia. But, yeah. If there's any... I will say this much, if there is any of the Predator movies, Predator 1, Predator, Predator 2, Predator 3, that I would most like to see a direct continuation of, it's honestly Predators. Sure, I'd love to know what's become. I'd love to see, catch up with Dutch, or hell, catch up with Harrigan, or Garber even. But, or all of them. I don't care. But more than anything, I'd love to see. I'd like to see a continuation with Royce and Isabel on the Honey Preserve planet, and maybe even have it end with them actually getting off the damn planet. But anyway, that's going to be it for today. Here in a little bit, I'm going to be leaving to go see The Predator. And I'm going to I'll shoot and post my review for that tomorrow. Yeah, that's. Oh, so I think I mentioned that the retro reviews will be continuing. First and foremost, later on this week, I will be starting up a series of retro reviews on the Halloween franchise, with the exception of Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. But this will all be leading up to the release of Blumhouse's Halloween sequel, which is doing one of the things I absolutely fucking despise to see in a movie. I can understand movies in the Halloween franchise ignoring Halloween 3. It's completely unrelated. Fine, I get it. But Halloween 2? No. You don't ignore that one. The hell, that's when we find out that Laurie Strode is Michael's frickin' sister. Even if it doesn't entirely make sense. But we'll talk about that next month, or later on, while we're working on the, while we're going through all those. So, but yeah, probably on Tuesday we'll get the first Halloween retro review up. Anywho, like I said, that's all I got for today. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Hit the bell icon to be notified when I post new content. Links to my social media are in the description box down below. Same with my Patreon. As always, anyways, this is Rock and Roll Spock signing off, saying live long and rock hard.